Well, it's time for one of your favourite segments, Words Matter, with Sky's very own walking, talking dictionary, Kel Richards, who joins me on the desk tonight. Kel, let's start with the word that's been in the news a lot recently, obviously because of Israel and Palestine, genocide. Where does genocide come from?
It's one of those rare words where we actually know who coined it and where and when. Doesn't often happen. A man by the name of Raphael Lemkin, he was Polish and he was a lawyer and he had a Jewish background, and he coined it in 1943. It appeared in a book of his published in 1944 about Axis rule in Europe, and he coined the word genocide in order to say, label what was happening to Jewish people in Nazi and fascist Europe at the time. So it means, this is interesting, it means either the damage of a population group or the destruction of a population group. So an action which could be called genocide doesn't just destroy, it can also damage. So a chant of "Gas the Jews" is a genocidal chant, right, from the river to the sea, which says there are 7 million Jewish people in Israel, we want them all gone. That's genocide. So we know where it comes from, and that's what it means.
Ivy League. So obviously we talk about universities in the US who've been in a bit of hot water recently because they don't know what anti-Semitism is. But where does Ivy League come from? What makes them Ivy League?
There are 8 of them, 8 of the really old East Coast colleges in America. In the 1800s, I can't explain this. All I can do is tell you what it was, Caleb. In the 1800s, when they started, they had a day called a class day, and it was a pattern, a habit, a ceremony to plant ivy. Why ivy? I don't know. And they had this special day, they planted the ivy, and someone gave a talk called an ivy oration. Right. Now, they'd been doing this all through the 1800s, and no one had applied it to them as a group. But in 1937, an American sports writer by the name of Caswell Adams, writing in the New York Herald, coined the expression to label those 8 colleges. So we know that's where it came from. What we've never figured out is why on earth they were planting ivy. I mean, it damages the walls, doesn't it?
But it does look very nice. Yes. And very quickly before we go, appliance, as in like a fire engine. They say it's a fire appliance. What is it, a washing machine?
You know, sir. Pardon me.
I've not killed you.
No, you just made me laugh. When I was a young journalist, I used to be really frustrated because you'd get these news releases from the fire brigade saying 7 appliances went to the blaze. And I thought, you know, they don't need washing machines there. But they used to call fire engines appliances. It does make sense in the sense that the word appliance goes back to the 1500s, and it meant something that was a means to an end, something that was applied to an end. And because it had an applied end, it was an appliance. They're more sensible now. They now call them fire engines. So when I was 5, I called them fire engines. Finally, the fire brigade does the same.
Simple language is always best. If people can't understand it, there's no point saying it. Kel Richards, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for joining.
Can I say thank you to all the viewers, because there are hundreds of them who've written to me this year with great words about questions. They've been wonderful. Thank you for that. Who stopped me in shopping malls and say, Kel, I've got a word for you. So can I just say thank you, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Pleasure. Thank you, mate. We do love this segment, and thank you for your company.